Speaking of that, this jacket is just way too much. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Pitting is a live Flushable call-in show, where you call in and something. We'll do a hot. Give me whatever. I'm William Taylor. Legs. I'm joined by my constant co-host Kevin Smurph. Kevin, what's up?
Give us your hot takes in the topics channel, and then if we like them, we'll pull you on air.
Yes, absolutely.
There it is.
Or you can put it in chat. You can put it in the you can put it in the comments.
Chat.
You can put it anywhere. Really, I don't frick. Not that we're talking about any of them today. Kevin, how are you? You went to Singapore.
I'm tired.
Valid.
I've gotten like 12 hours of sleep since I've gotten back.
Sure. Classic.
It was like 31 hours of straight travel, which ended with a 2.5-hour drive.
And you're going to work tomorrow?
Oh, I've been at work for 3 days.
Oh, frick. Oh, yeah. God dang.
Yep.
Yeah, holy frick.
Okay.
Yeah, and you had a video come out. Man's grinding as soon as he comes back from it. As soon as he comes back. Frick. So, yeah, this is a live call-in show. If you'd like to call in, you can try. And we're going to be talking about just what's going on with Flesh and Blood right now. And so to start with, how was Singapore? You're back and you're well. How was Singapore? How did you do with Singapore?
Personally, I did not do well in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
Or results-wise, I did not do well in Singapore.
Sure.
Singapore itself was great. It was fantastic from what I saw of it, what I had time to see. I'm still not at the point that I can spend extra days, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But everything I got to do and see was great. Everything was super easy. It took a total of 45 seconds to go through customs.
Oh, that's dope, actually.
Yeah, it was sick.
I say that actually with no reference. The more I think about it, I don't think I've been out of the country. So, classic American experience. I've never been out of the country.
We're gonna fix that at some point. Yes.
We're gonna have to give me a job first. Holy frick.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. We're getting you to like EU Worlds next year or some shit.
The unconfirmed EU Worlds.
The most likely EU.
Most likely EU Worlds though. I'm going to this. I'm going to Worlds this year.
Yeah, that's because it's a 5-hour drive for you. It's not even a flight.
No, I'm not flying.
But good. You better be at this goddamn event.
Yeah, I'm freaking excited. All right. First actual thing I want to talk about is we've had some cards release that have to do with the new Guardian set.
Sure.
Any of them strike you enough that you want to bring them up is the main point, I guess. Because we're not going over every single card, and we're not going to go over speculation on stuff. But
them are too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are just like kind of neat.
Yeah, I think that a lot of them do spark interest, which is cool. I like that.
Yes, but none of them are like, oh my god, this is busted. It's like that's a good card for Guardian to have.
Yeah.
I still think like the most interesting card from this set so far is Seismic Eruption. The yellow instant make 3 seismic surge tokens.
That one's super sick. I think
that's the coolest card that Guardian has gotten in a long time.
The coolest card that I've seen come out before these sets or spoiled or whatever is probably I can't find it now. It's the Outside Interference.
Oh, from Super Slam. Yes.
Well, Super Slam / the Guardian
cool.
set, like
it's so cool.
That card is so cool.
I'm so excited to see what people do with that card.
Andrew Ostman said, "In the foreign country that is Pennsylvania," and that reminded me of a meme, which is Peter Griffin wearing a Eagles shirt that says WhatsApp at the top, and it says, "I will die for my country, Philadelphia."
That checks out.
But okay, so Outside Interference. Discard this. You may reveal a reviled attack action from your inventory and put it into your hand. It's a blue 3-cost 6-power attack with no defense. Those are all
zero block.
And
reviled brute.
It's all really interesting.
It's so cool.
It's
such
interesting.
a cool take on like the width wish type mechanic from
Yes.
Magic. Like,
Yeah.
they've toned it back obviously a lot, but it makes your deck so flexible in terms of like you have 3 extra sideboard slots, and you're just like, all right, well, I'm just going to toolbox these 3. And
Pencil Tucky.
It's so cool.
Standing Ovation is the Revered Guardian action that you get an extra turn.
So it is a 6 for 8 blue on hit. Take an extra turn.
It really is 6 cost blue.
If you have 3 or more, it's not showing up on the spoil.
If you have 3 or more suspend cards pop off that turn, you get to take an extra turn, and at the beginning of the next end phase, on hit, at the beginning of the next end phase, they drop to their intellect. You're going to hit, because probably, we don't know exactly what the numbers are, but let's pretend they're all 0 for 3s, because they probably are, or is that...
So one of them is
something
draw
for 3.
card.
Oh, that's right.
We know one of the suspense auras is draw a card. From an aura you control.
I was just thinking of like old auras where there was like the 0 cost one that pumps your next guardian attack on the next turn 3, and it's like if you got 3 of those to pop off, this thing comes in for freaking 17.
Yeah, if you
with
if
the
you
on
can get
hit
this to be 11 or 14 or 11 with confidence or something like that.
Yeah. Ooh,
You're
confidence.
You start getting into issues where this is just 6, take an extra turn.
Unrelated to that, there's some guardian cards that mess with auras, which is a pretty cool inclusion.
Yeah, all the Mastery Pack Guardian stuff is
they
quote
printed
unquote anti-Guardian.
They printed they got more UPF cards in here, which is sick. Gesture of Goodwill, another protect block, which is just always... I think it's so interesting. Like, most of the quote-unquote UPF cards that are coming out are definitely the group hug ones, because you're not going to find that as much in normal sets, so...
Ever.
Do you guys worry that Mastery Pack will be mostly low-power cards to make it Crack Shuffle play work? I have no idea what their plan is to make Crack Shuffle play work, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I
think that's possible. I'm not super concerned about it. It does not raise red flags for me if it is significantly lower in power.
I don't think it's a problem, and I don't think it makes
partially
drafting any worse.
Lower in power, being actively spoiled.
I'm sure it is.
But I don't know, because like Crack Shuffle play is like they can set the power level of Crack Shuffle play to be whatever they want. Honestly,
some people prefer the more grindy, lower power ones, and some people prefer the more aggressive.
I think it depends
high-powered ones
on, because they can make Crack Shuffle. The bigger issue becomes the difference in power level between rares and majestics.
Yes. Not that all of it needs to be pretty even, but like the closer to even, the probably better.
3 packs that have a majestic and 3 packs that don't shouldn't be that big if you want Crack Shuffle play to be good. That's the actual, I think, determining factor in Crack Shuffle play being good. Not just the overall power level of the set. Or that's a bigger issue.
Well, we did just get it.
Here's the Ed Knight card. Block card clash.
Oh.
Other hero discards a card.
And it blocks 4? It's so... I
don't know that that's actually that busted.
I love the idea of block cards clashing, because you're actively ruining your block chances the more blocks you put in, which is great. Correct. And I love it. So
you have trade-offs.
I don't know. I think
this card is actually like
if you're playing an aggro guardian or a tempo based guardian where your goal is not necessarily to block out fatigue, this card goes in. You're not playing Sink Below, this goes in. Yeah,
you have to pick how many.
This is just initial speculation of cards we haven't got to play with. But I think I'm already over talking about new cards, unless you got anything else you're excited about.
No, I think I'm good for the moment. I want to see the rest of stuff, but like that majestic block is pretty interesting.
I do like the.
There's not going to be blues of it.
I do have a question for you. Do you think the new Arsenal Pass showed off their new legendary generic legs, which seem to be very good into dominate attacks, right?
Yes, specifically dominate.
What is it called? Base of the mountain. Do you think this being printed will drive down the price of quick dodge flexors any?
No.
Okay.
Not even close.
Bummer. I was hoping.
They do fundamentally different things.
Yeah, but they're also both generic legendary boots. Probably not.
They do such different things that one is not a replacement for the other. Like, quick dodge flexors can kind of replace base of the mountain a little bit, but base of the mountain will never replace quick dodge flexors.
I think you absolutely still have to run Trounce and Victor. That
card
says that card says draw a card.
So any block card that says make a gold is just like another level of good in Victor.
Maybe there's a meta that comes up where it's big attacks more than it is wide attacks, and
Victor's just bad.
I'm still just trying to think about lowering the price of quick dodge flexors so I can afford one. I think both of those are just going to be expensive.
If they reintroduce Azalea with like similar text and it's big arrow dominate,
or these guardians are like an actual problem.
Card. Yeah, like this is an anti-Azalea or anti-Guardian card if they have Macho Grande for 13.
It's evasion that goes tall on hit decks.
Yeah.
But that's
it literally only stops dominate.
Like it doesn't stop confidence. It doesn't stop overpower. As we are pretty sure based on how the rules work, we are pretty sure it doesn't work on those the way we want it to.
Given the change they made to dominate where it was you could not add a card, then that I'm going off that ruling that we had a while ago when they changed dominate slightly. But
well, speaking of change, let's change the topic. We're going to knocked it out of the park. ProQuest Yokohama has been announced because Pro Tour Yokohama has been announced, which I was pretty sure we were going to have another Pro Tour, and because of it, I was pretty sure we were going to have another ProQuest season. And people are up in arms about something that showed up in the retailer news about the ProQuest Yokohama. Everyone knows what I'm talking about, that the playmats that are going to be the prizes are KO, Pallades, and Tough Nut, and we are not getting a gold main one for that. And frick. That's the one I wanted. I didn't want the other three. I wanted that one. Frick.
It's all right. You only get one shot at it anyways.
So to talk about that more, the actual reason that Bluesky, and I assume Twitter, is also upset. Thank you for the thank you. Our man in the scene, Kevin Smurph Murphy, covering the Twitter scene, so I don't have to. They've had a change to the event structure, or in the section under the event structure. Restricted player eligibility. ProQuest seasons are intended to provide a qualification pathway for players to the next Pro Tour, and players who have already qualified are restricted from entering the events as follows. A player who wins a ProQuest Yokohama event may not play in any more ProQuest events during the season of ProQuest Yokohama. Wow. LSS. Certain players cannot play Flesh and Blood at their local game store.
Yes.
Are restricted from playing Flesh and Blood at their local game store. Yes. Under certain situations, there's a reason for this. It's not all bad, and it's not all good either, from my perspective. But we'll get into that right now. And I'm sure everyone else, if you have opinions on this, please put it in chat. We'll definitely bring it up and talk about it. I don't think it's a bad thing. So, right? So, like, and you don't think it's a good thing. And that's basically what we're going to debate a bit. So we'll start with why what issues? LSS didn't provide any context for this. They just did it. The context they mostly did provide was obviously what they're doing, and you can extrapolate from that. And then also it says, ProQuest seasons are intended to provide a qualification pathway for Pro Tour for the next Pro Tour, and players who have already qualified are restricted from the events, implying that this is a qualification pathway. They've already qualified. They don't need to be in the pathway anymore.
Sure.
So, since they didn't provide context for what this is for, what is it for? What do you think it's for?
Yes. So this is, I think, the biggest question, because then you can actually have discussions, and I think there's 3 different routes they can be going towards. The one they allude to is that this is the path to qualify for the PT, which says they're trying to get more invites out there.
Mm-hmm.
Which invites already passed from first to second. Which, sure, you hit a 50-50 in top 8 to hit the person who already has an invite. I don't know many people that were hyper grinding anyways once they had their invite. If somebody expressed that they were playing for the invite, most people who already have one usually step out of the way. That's not a big issue usually. I know that I always do that. If I have my invite and somebody expresses that they want their invite, if they're wishy-washy on it, Singapore, they're I don't know, maybe if I qualify and maybe if 2 other people qualify and we can all split expenses, maybe I'll go then. It's all right, I'm going to play then. But I also had people for PT Singapore say, no, I want my invite, I want to go. And I'm yep, you got it.
Sure.
Because I had mine from London.
What are other things that they could be solving, right? So that's one of them.
The other one is just so someone can't go and win all the gold foils in a region.
Mm-hmm.
I think the argument of prizing is kind of nonsense.
Okay.
One, gold foils at especially the PQ level have become worth significantly less than they were a year or 2 years ago. The prices on every gold foil have dropped by 50 to 70%.
So,
as well as sealed gold foils are significantly less.
So how much would hypothetically, we'll say how much would you buy a sealed gold foil for this season?
No more than 200.
Oh. Wow, that is low, because I think I do remember them being sold for 500.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
They are significantly lower. In addition to every single gold foil out of them being worth significantly less, I picked up a gold foil Luminaris for 500 when they used to be 1,500.
OG Luminaris or new?
OG Luminaris.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So all of those prices and values are
powerful.
Down. So that as prizing is just worth less, and in a lot of stores is just less than the store credit.
Sure. No, yeah.
It is significantly less than the cost of a PTI. Because PTIs are in the 500 to 700 range.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Here, the other point I have for this, the idea of prizing being split out, or of distributing prizing evenly so people can use it to go to events.
Did we say, let's say all the things I may want to solve first. What was the last one? Was there another one?
The last one is groups going and scooping up invites because they have a group of 5 and they start conceding to each other to get a certain person an invite, whatever.
They collude
I want to finish up prizing real quick, because it's very quick, I think.
Sure.
I'm not going to these events for prizing. I'm going there to play. And here's how I can just prove this. Battle Hardens wouldn't fucking exist if we were playing them for prizing. They are fucking dog shit prizing.
Yeah. So what do you
are.
So what do you give for a Battle Harden?
Battle Hardens wouldn't exist if all we were playing this game for was prizing. So we want to go and play the game. We have 250 person Battle Hardens on day 3s of PTs or Nats. PTs less so now, but in particular Nats. The Battle Harden at US Nats every year is 250 people. It's 9 rounds of Swiss. We're playing that for a $2,000 prize pool for 8 people out of 250? No. We're playing it because we want to play the game. I X2'd the Battle Hardened at US Nats this year and I got 19th for no prizing. No prize wall tickets even. If the argument is prizing and that other people can get gold foils, that's not why we do it. You could remove gold foils from this equation entirely, and I would prefer that to this change. Prizing is not an argument.
Okay.
It's just not. I don't think you understand. So the people who would be negatively affected by this change, I don't think you understand them if you think this is about distributing prizing more evenly.
Okay. How am I trying to word this? It's like, what is the pricing you said you get for like a Battle Harden?
So it is $2,000 split between top 8.
Sure.
With first, second getting 500 each. First gets a sealed gold foil legendary, which is the only thing that's like the actual, like the jump in prizing is like 125 in a playmat that most people don't want, to 250 in the playmat, to 500 in a PTI. So your jump is to get into top 8, you get some amount of cash, which is honestly like $25 more than your entry at this point.
You're getting more out of winning a PQ than top 8ing a Battle Harden?
Yes. Just top 8ing a Battle Harden? Yes. And yet we have 220 people play these Battle Hardens. We're not playing it for the goddamn prizing.
Because, just to be more clear,
yes,
and basically be redundant at this point, it's your statement is the reason prizing isn't a factor for why the ProQuest event structure change happened was because if we were playing for prizing at a ProQuest, then that's why they needed to potentially limit it so that it's not like one person is just gathering all the wealth out of the entire area. It's actually more of, or rather, it's like Battle Hardens would have no attendance if people played Battle Hardens for the same reason, which is you show up
for EV
to do it. Yeah, for EV. If you showed up to a Battle Harden for EV, unless you're planning on spiking the Battle Hardened, then,
which is hard as shit to do.
Yeah, especially with the amount of people playing in some of them, and the number of the people playing in them. We see some very
quality of player.
The quality of players very high, at least in the like top 20 players in most regions. So at that point it would be like if you're playing PQs for EV and you're playing Battle Hardens for EV, you wouldn't even go to Battle Hardens. And
no,
you might go to PQs, but that's not the point. People are showing up to Battle Hardens anyways.
They're showing up to both.
They're showing up to both. And so it's clearly not necessarily all about EV.
No, it's not.
I don't have a big comeback for that one specifically, right? Like that one feels
The one time I brought it up, the person just didn't respond.
I think, well, that's the internet. Yay, we're having a discussion. Okay, the other point I will like to say, and I think this is kind of related to this, which someone made, which is, or actually no one made this point. I thought of this myself, but it was built off of what other people were saying. When a local doesn't win your locals, that feels bad. And when a local doesn't win the 6 locals you have, I think that could feel bad. Like if people are coming in from well out of state and just sweeping up all the ProQuests, and then nobody locally got a gold foil.
I mean, gold foils still mean less and less. So let's say the invites. So nobody from your store is going to get the invite.
Yeah.
That means you just get to go to theirs and you can get the invite there because it already passes down to second.
Sure.
Like it does. There's like, going off my time in Roanoke, we liked the idea of defending home turf or whatever. But like we had no issue with the North Carolina group coming up and
I don't. I think
playing our
it's
events.
I think it's cool to see them. They're very social people.
I guess part of it is like we get along with all the people from the North Carolina scene, from the Charlottesville scene, from the Richmond scene. Like there's a touch of friendly rivalry, and there is significantly more camaraderie with those groups.
Yeah.
That like it's like they show up and they win, and you're like, that's fine. It's Aaron Grace. I don't care if he wins that. He's a great freaking player. Like, cool.
I get to post on Bluesky that I lost to Aaron Grace in top 8.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I get to go to his store, and if I meet him in the finals, I get the invite. Like, what?
So I guess that
it's not to say that. So the idea of it being a feels bad is like, sure, if they're toxic players, but like if they're more deserving of the invite, then that's not your invite. That's the invite attached to that event, and if you don't win the event, that's not yours. That's not your local's invite. Does it feel good? Not necessarily, but like...
I think people do interpret it that way, though. This is our local's invite.
Sure, but that... You're not entitled to it.
You have to win it, at minimum.
You still have to win it. And people can drive from wherever to play that event. That's an open event.
It is also
it's not
like...
restricted to your locals. I understand if people don't like it, but it's like... That to me is not a justification because it's not. That falls under win the event.
I think it's more like a vibes thing than it is like if that's the argument for why this is a good thing. It's more of a vibes thing than it is like a good thing where it's like, okay, we're gonna have our one ProQuest in our region, in this hypothetical region, and whoever wins is going to go. I'm going to paint the scenario since we're going to be using a lot of hypotheticals. I'm going to paint the scenario of an area that's relatively small. It's got one ProQuest in the area, and Pro Tour is going to be in your country or your region. And it's like whichever local wins, that person represents your locals at the Pro Tour, and that's sick as heck. That's like awesome.
Okay, so somebody else drives in.
Yes.
And takes that invite.
Yes.
So there's two scenarios here then. One is your store is first between yours and theirs because they are willing to drive to yours.
Yes.
If you want it as much as they do, you have to be willing to drive to theirs.
True.
So if they take your invite, you can go take theirs.
And if you don't go take theirs, you do not have the same drive that they did.
You don't want it as much.
Yeah.
Or you can't for whatever reason, and then it's like, okay, I'm sorry in that case, but like, people, you have varying amounts of time that you can commit to the game, and that's just a fact of life. Like, we can't hold people's hands on that one. I don't think.
No, and I think that comes down to like.
But if they have already gotten an invite and then they come to your store and they win it, it passes down to second. Yeah.
Which I think it will start to lead to the next point that I'm going to bring up. But I will say I wanted to shout out to Andrew in chat, Skippy, who keeps talking. I'm reading everything. This is great, and I'm weaving it into the conversation because I'm having a dialogue with Kevin, but I'm also reading that. Yeah. And just so you know, we appreciate it. Go ahead.
Yes, yeah. I want to address one point here. If people in Singapore can cheer for a hometown hero, and is this the same thing on a smaller scale? Yeah, Shuri won the Pro Tour.
Yes,
nobody was excluded from this Pro Tour. He beat everyone.
He won.
He won.
Dope.
It. Like that's it. Like the argument for just win it is Shirui. Like,
no, yeah. It's just win it. Hashtag just win it. Just win out. So okay, we'll get to the next point, which is going to be, well, what if it's not one person that drove up to your event?
So are
It's
we
a
talking
it's
two people, or are we talking 5+?
a
Because these are all varying degrees.
an SUV drove up, or not an SUV, a sedan drives up. They got a person in the driver's seat, someone in shotgun, and 3 people all crammed together in the back. You got 5 people coming up to an event.
And all the backpacks are in the
backpacks are in the trunk.
Yeah. As a matter of local pride. Yeah, no, I understand that. Like, the cheers were definitely louder for Singapore winning, by the like
it was
100%.
awesome. It was actually just a beautiful story.
It was fantastic to hear. It was great to hear. But like, if anyone else won it, they deserved it. Like,
any rule that makes people not play events is bad.
Pro Tour deserves it. But okay, so like, if you have 5+ people showing up to, let's call it, they're a town that's 2 hours away.
Sure.
And they only get 2 because it's those 5 or 6 people that basically are their entire armory attendance.
Mm-hmm. It's the same 5 or 6 people, and they go to both armories, and it's just 5 or 6 people at both armories.
I mean, that's my armories, but yeah.
One of them wins one of them wins the other. They got 3 other people.
And then the rest, sure. If this is the issue they're trying to address, I understand it. And I think it's an inelegant solution.
Well, I'll go over the issue a little more, which is
it's
the problem with the issue is these 5 people show up. Let's say for this scenario, only one of them has their invite. They are going through Swiss, and at the end of the Swiss, the person who won their invite got to play against one of their fellow people that they drove up with, and they just concede the game. They just concede the game because they already have their invite. They don't need to be in top 8. They basically just push their buddy into top 8. They could play the game out, and the player who had already previously won a ProQuest, hypothetically is, probably more likely to win it because they won their ProQuest, right? So maybe they're a little more favored. But like
correlation, yes.
Yeah. And so like you're basically this one player who got into top 8, he played one less round than everybody else. He did not have to play as competitive event as everyone else. He got paired into his buddy who just conceded a game.
So like, I will say, I have done this where I am the person who concedes that game.
For your buddy?
But yes.
Okay.
But they still have to win the rest of the games and top 8. So for reference, this was at a draft PQ where we had 2 drafts, and I conceded literally round 2 when we're both 0-1, and literally only one of us can make top 8.
Oh, yes, because you're 0-1. So the way the seeding works...
So one of us is 0-2, and I end up winning my next 4 rounds and go 4-2, and I get 9th.
You're kicking out all the local competition, or I say local. I don't know where this was at.
32 people.
Yeah.
And it was
bad
2 of us. It was not 5 of us who show up to do this. If this is 5 people and 4 people concede to one person, they don't have to play 4 rounds and they get 4-0 instantly.
Yeah.
Then that's like, okay.
If that feels weird, I feel like conceding 1 round feels weird. Like, I feel like it's all the same because there is
principle.
The word people keep using, which I'm not sure I necessarily want to use it for this, is like the competitive integrity of this person didn't have to play as difficult a bracket as everyone else. But
so if I were to play that game out, then I am just denying somebody the possibility of an invite if I win. Because it is a lose and out. Not because it is a win and in. We are both locked for top 8 or whatever, or I can still make top 8. Like, literally only one of us can make top 8.
Andrew Osmond, maybe I'm just a dick, but I'm not conceding to my friends. I love that. I love that.
That's fine.
Yeah. No.
There are some people I will not concede to. There are some people I will. But also, like, if only one of us can make top 8, I want to give somebody the chance to make top 8. They still have to go win 3 of their next 4 to make top 8.
The worst case scenario might be, well, I mean, I think it's more of, I think
the other locals,
you still have to do good enough in order to win the entire thing or to get second.
Yes.
However, like, your path was shorter than everyone else's.
Slightly, yes, but also they still play all the other locals to
You have to prove
get
yourself
there.
better, right?
All the locals have a chance to beat them
yes,
in not just Swiss, but in top 8.
you do have to run into somebody eventually that is local or isn't local or is anybody.
Yes.
You have to run into someone eventually, and you have to beat them and prove that you've won your game against that person, and in theory, are better than the people that they beat, right? Like you've worked your way up the ladder. If you it's like the idea of in video games where you're just like you have a friend Smurf on your account and they boost you all the way up to, let's say, platinum. You're losing those games in platinum. You're going to get back on the account that your friend Smurfed you to, and then you're going to get beat because that's not where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be back down there in silver. Yes. And so if a friend scoops for you, it's you still have to beat someone on the way up there. I think the like messed up thing would be like if your buddy also got into top 8 with you, you find each other in quarters, and then they scoop. That's a little gross.
Yes.
That's gross.
Yes. When it's like, I think there is some amount of like context where it's like it's not there are cases where it's like, yeah, it's competitive integrity, where it's like you have 5 people, all of them are in top 8, and they all scoop to get one person the invite. Like, sure.
Specifically colluding to get people into top 8.
Yes. Like, I'm not trying to get this person the invite. I'm just trying to give them the opportunity to get the invite, because I gain nothing by winning.
Mm-hmm. So how
like
okay?
This is no different than any other scoop where somebody says, I'm going to PT Singapore, and the other person says, I'm not. And they say, okay, person who's going gets the invite, second place gets the gold foil. They're just not wasting it.
So I guess that's true. That's a good way to put it. I think the one thing I'll say is like, you would agree that it's probably a problem if there's a group of 5 people and they're very intent to get a specific person. Let's say, hypothetically, this worst case scenario is it's 5 people, 4 of them have their invites. They all play until they get top 8, or maybe they don't all get top 8 because they get paired into each other. And the idea is they're specifically trying to get the 5th person their invite. They will scoop them all the way up into the top.
Yeah.
That's a problem, right?
I'm going to say that is a problem.
Okay. How could LSS fix that
context
problem?
On that? I don't know.
Because
this is the one part of this whole problem, this whole situation, why this rule might be in place, that I don't have another solution to.
Specifically the colluding, more so than the gold foils, the invites, the other things, which we'll get to the invites. We'll talk about those too. But
I do want to address some stuff that Andrew is saying.
Sure.
If you're a TA for a class and your friends are in the class,
you're extra hard on
that. I'm not scooping to them. That is a different situation.
That's not competitive event.
No, I'm not competing with them.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to word it. You're not a team in this scenario. You are in charge, and they are. That's like being a judge at the event and giving them leeway, which is a big no-no. Yes. That's what it is. That's what it is.
I think that's the actual analogy for the TA student one.
So I understand what you're saying when you say you wouldn't scoop for your friends. That's fine. But also, maybe your scenario doesn't quite hit the mark on what we're trying to get at.
I think so. I think not all scoops are equal, because in the case of 5 people with 4 of them having invites and they're actively colluding, failed their ass. Oh, yeah. No, if they deserve it, fail them. That's it.
Yeah.
I turned 100%. When I was a TA,
we're not saying you did. We're just saying, like, heck yeah. What'd you say?
I failed a bunch of students for cheating when I was a TA.
Oh, that's sick. I love that. I love that.
One, they were terrible at it. 2, they were cheating.
If they're cheating, hecking get them.
The other question of not all scoops are equal. No, I don't think all scoops or concedes are equal.
But also not all games are equal. I've definitely played.
No.
1, this game has variance to it. 2, like, your opponent is not always of an equal caliber to you. Like, You could have an easy, they talk about all the time where it's like, or we talk about all the time, actually. In order to win an event, you need to be the best player on the best deck with the best luck. You need to have the right run sometimes, especially in certain, especially in certain metas where like some heroes they just need, like if I was to play Bravo, and I just hit Syndra's all the way into winning the Pro Quest, that happens. That 100% happens. There's going to be a win by Bravo with this Pro Quest season. I'm sure of it. Yeah. Maybe. Well, a Guardian at least. And they probably had an easier schedule that allowed them to go through, which is why sometimes people will do tournament breakdowns, and they'll be like, "This is what I had to play against, and I still won." Oh, the Gravy that played like 5 Slippies.
Yeah.
Holy frick. It was supposed to be your counter, and you just won 5 Slippies.
To look at London, like... No, Andrew, you're good.
You're good.
I genuinely appreciate, like, those kinds of questions. Really, I do. But, like, to look at London, like, if I don't hit the Enigmas when I do, where it's like the last round of CC day 1 and the last round of CC day 2, stuff might be a lot harder. And then you look at Andrew's CC matchups, and it was like 2 Kanos and an Azalea on day 1, which is like so good for Prism. But like we still both make top 8 because I got my wins and he got his wins.
And then you had to play.
That's the way it works sometimes.
You had to play the top 8, right? So
yeah,
you had to play out the top 8 as well. So.
And to say also, I don't think all scoops are equal, because I think there's prearranged stuff, like the 5 people trying to get the 4 people trying to get the 5th person their invite, and a scoop because I don't want to stand in my friend's way and I don't want to dream crush them, and I have said nothing to them beforehand, and there is no expectation at any other event. There is nothing exchanged, and then like a scoop
to a random
finals of. Yeah, to a rant. I have scooped so many people into their Nats invites that I don't know, because I have my invite and they don't.
You just before the game, you're shuffling. Before the game, you sit down. You say, "Are you so and so? Yeah, are you so and so? You going to nationals? Oh, I don't have my invite yet."
And I'd be like, "I have my invite. Would you like to go to nationals?" No insinuations of anything. No.
Are you planning on going to nationals? Yeah.
Are you planning on going to nationals?
Yeah.
And if they say yes, then I scoop, and that's it.
Yeah, and I think that's great.
That happens a lot in PQs, especially for like APAC PQs or PTs. You can have 50 or 60 person PQs where 5 people are planning to go to that PT.
Yeah.
The odds that there's just a second place gets the gold foil, first place gets the invite are really high.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody is hurt by that. Everything was played out up to that point.
So to get into that,
best man wins. To a degree,
So the question is, I get that you don't want to dream crush a friend, but doesn't that undermine your earlier statement of effectively the best man wins? Also, Andrew.
It does somewhat, but
so it's interesting. There's several things.
I feel like I'm willing to make a compromise on this one, because 1 round out of 9 is not a huge difference, and I understand like having to play 8 rounds versus having to play 9 rounds is a difference. But also, if I just never get paired into them, like they play 9 rounds either way. If we meet at 0-2, like it doesn't matter anymore. But like, yes, I am making a choice that like does change it slightly, but I don't think it's like they still have to go win the PQ. I'm not standing over their shoulder when they're drafting and telling them if it's a good pick or not. And also, if they just win the game anyways, because usually we end up just playing the game no matter what. If they just win the game anyways, it didn't matter. So like, there's a 50% chance it doesn't matter. Yeah. No, like you're good. You're 100% correct to ask that question.
Yeah, I think it's great. Sure. That's what we're trying to do, is get down to this.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about some other points that might be smaller, if you're good.
It might not be. Yeah, I want to like finish this out just real quick.
Yeah.
It might not be 100% consistent. But also if it's between 2 people out of like 32, that's with no prearranged anything, then I'm not super worried about it. But also, like,
there's scenarios where
burning the invite doesn't do anyone any favors either.
True. So that's what I was going to get at is the burning the invites. I think an example of what this could be, you know, like they described it as ProQuest seasons are intended to provide a qualification pathway for players. What? I mean, there are reasons to compete. Like there's practice and there's the store credit or other things that you could be competing for at this event. Just to get to hang out with people, all sorts of things. Maybe you signed up for this event ahead of time because you didn't know if you were going to win one, which is a big one.
All the pre-registration arguments are there.
But still, you have an invite, and you are competing for what is effectively an event for an invite. Yeah. If you win the event, if let's say there's like several people have this mindset, you got 4 people in top 8 that all already have their invite. It could be a whole side of the bracket, and then one of them is going to get up there. Sure. Or it could be positioned in a way where it's like you just are going to end up having multiple people that already have their invite as first and second.
Sure.
And then you just burn the invite for that event.
So I guess to put it openly,
mm-hmm.
they're under no obligation to make sure that the invite goes to somebody. And then this is my. If their issue is getting invites to players,
mm-hmm.
just keep passing it down.
I've heard a lot of people say that in a lot of different ways too. A lot of different ideas on how to do it.
Just figure out a system.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Any system for passing the invite further than second is more elegant than this, and is better for the community than this.
Mm-hmm.
Because it also is going to reduce the number of those concessions if the invite just passes further. Because I think Runaways talked about this. They play so many more finals out when somebody in the finals already has their invite and the other person doesn't. Because the invite's automatically going to second. Highest placing player without it, done. If we need to play a third, fourth game, do it. I don't care. I'll play a third, fourth game. Gimme. I want to play more Fab. Let's go.
I love that too, actually.
Like, there are much better ways to do this. If the concern is that the invite doesn't get burned, there are much better ways to do this, which, by the way, we do have confirmation that if you top 32 Singapore and you win a PQ, the invite passes down. So you're already incentivized to just get second and take the gold foil.
Good point. You're allowed to do it at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, if you top 35, if you top 35, you can just keep going to as many 32. Keep going to as many events as you want and take the gold foils. If you're if you can get to that point / can go to all these events and all the prerequisites involved in that. That sounds like a loophole specifically for 32 people.
Yeah, sure does.
Oh, that makes it really hard to argue. Okay. So I will say, like, I'm going to get back to all of this at the end when we do, like, a little bit of a recap. But, like, I'm trying to argue through the viewpoint of, like, this is an okay path. And I think this is an okay thing for LSS to implement. And I think the answer is probably maybe not like this, but I understand what they're going for. Like, there needs to be more to this, but I can see what they're going for. A different okay, go ahead. Or we were talking about or go ahead.
I'm okay with them trying to do something. I think what they're doing doesn't do what they want it to do, or they have poorly explained it, or both. And I think there's way better solutions if the problem is not groups of 5+ or 6+ going to these events and taking all 6 slots in top 8. At which point, like, if there's 6 players who are willing to drive to your PQ and are better than all of your locals to where they take 6 slots in top 8, like, either you have a player or 2 who is better than all of them and is going to win, or those 6 players are more deserving.
Maybe
they have to beat all your locals to make top 8, right?
Maybe they just wanted the prizing for whatever reason, and
if it's the
practice, the prizing and the practice,
they're gonna be gone.
That's probably true.
If they want the practice and they're only trying to get one person the invite, they're not scooping to a bunch of people then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those 5 are still going to play majority of games between each other.
So the argument for, I'm going to go back a little bit. The argument for there's not enough invites to go around is there's other ways you could implement handing out invites other than this particular one of not allowing first placers to play at another PQ.
Yes. There's so much better solutions.
There's a lot
much better. They could just make it top 4.
Thank you for getting to chat, Andrew. It's actually, you've made some great points, and I really appreciate it.
100%.
Good night. The last point that I definitely wanted to bring up was if you exclude players from playing in Pro Quests due to the fact that they've already won one.
Yeah.
And this is the one I feel like there's argument here and you won't. Is that so let's say hypothetically I win my locals because I'm the best local, hands down. Everyone knows it.
Yeah.
Mara gets second. That's fine.
Naturally. She's very good at that.
Anyways, you got me. It makes the competition for the next Pro Quest that I was going to go to easier for everyone. I am not going to be the powerhouse sweeping trying to take the gold foil in second place. So there's going to be one extra person in top 8 that's not me. There's going to be somebody getting the gold foil that's not me, because I'm going to obviously get into finals the second time, and I'm going to not need the PTI, so I'm going to negotiate some sort of thing where I get the gold foil, they get the PTI.
You probably end up with the gold foil, or you just split it halfway, or whatever. You just benefit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm also on Huntsman in both events.
Naturally.
So, the point being that, like, we've allowed another person who wouldn't have gotten a top 8 at a Pro Quest, and we've allowed another person a gold foil that maybe has never had a gold foil before. You know, maybe it's the same 2 people always take the gold foil in the PTI, because it's like there's 2 people who are huge grinders. There's a bunch of other, not casual, but they're just like local players that come every week, but they're not like hard testing all the time. And so it's, I think that is something we could bring up. For that reason, I think one thing that this thing does do is it inspires the next group of people who might play well. Somebody gets their first gold foil because the best player in the region couldn't play in the event, and they're just like, holy frick, the rush, I made it all the way up to this point. I've never done this before. I was given this opportunity by, having a vacant spot, and now I'm going to start seeing if I can show up 3 hours early to an armory and testing more, and I'm going to pay attention to the meta more. I'm going to be more involved in the game. This hypothetical, which is probably like a thing that can happen, like to more than one person.
So there's a few points here that I would address. The first one is, I don't think most people are actually going to be long-term motivated by just winning a single gold foil. I think if they're a person who's going to show up 3 hours early for armory the week after they win a PQ, they will stop doing so within a couple weeks, or they would have already started.
Kind of like the argument for people who are working out and dieting. They're going to do it at the beginning of the year because that's when all the hype is, and then after the hype dies down,
they would start it at any other point if they were actually serious about it.
Yeah, they wouldn't have needed the motivation necessarily, or from a specific event or something like that, right? Like there would have been something else probably that pushes them.
They would get it from their first top 8, not from making the finals and getting the gold foil.
What if it is their first top 8? because I'm not taking the top 8 spot anymore.
Sure.
A slightly different scenario. They didn't get the gold foil. They got the top 8.
I think in that event, you're not going to have one person who is making their first top 8. You're going to probably have 4 to 5. That's the way this level of event works.
We also do have a lot of... I mean, there's... Even if you have one ProQuest, you'll have multiple ProQuest seasons a year. If you're hard bought into Flesh and Blood, you're playing them every year. We see a lot of rotation for the top 8 of ProQuests, and it's not guaranteed that the 8 best players very specifically, skilled and puts in all the time are going to win, because there's variance in the game, obviously. So you're saying they would just get a top 8 anyways, eventually.
Yes. So I think, and maybe it is case by case, Clark, I'm not sure. I don't know if that person got motivated because they got second, or if they would have had the same motivation if they got 4th, or if they had just made top 8.
Or if they'd have just gone to the event and got super excited. They watched it.
Yeah.
They got 9th. They got 9th, and they were like, I got 9th. I was right there that last round. If I'd had one more point of damage, I'd have made top 8.
Yeah. It's hard to pinpoint that, and I think top 8 is usually more because that's kind of the break point, quote unquote.
A lot of people just go home after top 8's announced. The venue cleans out a little bit. It's a little more serious. It's a little more personal. There's only 3 games going on. Four games going on. It's untimed. It's like a whole new setting.
Yes. So I don't know if that's because they got second, which second will probably motivate you more than top 8, but making top 8 obviously will do it. Obviously winning will for sure, because then you're oh, I'm going to the Pro Tour now. Oh, okay. But you've already won at that point. The first PQ that I won, I had to beat both Aaron Grace and Lucas Bannigan.
Have I top 8'd a PQ?
Yeah. You started 3-0 at the LA one? Not LA.
I don't remember.
Later, much later.
It wasn't an RTN, it was a PQ?
It was a PQ, and you hit Enigma.
That's funny. I remember that now. I played only Illusionist all day, pretty much.
This was peak. It was the season for London.
Yep. That was
cool. And you went win, Enigma.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Was top 8 where I just immediately scooped because they said they were going to go?
Yes.
I think they were on 5.
Yep, you did.
So. It was what's his name with the beard that I don't remember
Wyatt?
his name. No, it wasn't Wyatt. Someone from Richmond.
Not on Fi.
Not on Fi. Oh, then I guess it wasn't Fi.
No.
Who was it? I don't remember. Anyways, I was trying to remember if I.
Oh no, it was Brendan on Aurora.
Oh, he was on Aurora. I knew it was an aggro deck. That makes sense. Brendan, yes, of course.
Yeah. So I think removing one person from that pool probably does not significantly change what a top 8 would look like. I think just variance will change top 8s more than that. And then variance also matters more in who gets finals than who wins.
What if it's week 5 and 6 people don't come to this 30-person ProQuest, and
sure,
it's a lot softer?
I guess that's when it starts mattering, but
this is
the follow-up question is, at what point is it not the same? Because you're not beating those 6 people.
Technically at 1, as soon as the first person can't play.
But there is a point for, and is going to matter person to person, at which point that top 8 matters less, because it feels like you're just not playing. You're not beating those people. You're not beating those top 8.
I'm not beating William. I'm not beating Mara. I'm not beating Kevin. I'm not beating Tim.
Yeah.
And so at that point, it's just
stop meaning as much because you go back to your armory and you lose armory the next week?
I mean, it means as much as the invites allow, right? So if
but does it motivate the same way?
Oh, it doesn't.
of you go back to Armory.
Okay,
that's
definitely person to person, because I can immediately think of one person who would be like, if I won the event, I don't care who's at it, it would make me the most motivated person in the world for 2 weeks.
For exactly 2 weeks.
I was going to say, I know exactly who you're talking about. They would be the most excited. They would buy 2 whole new decks, and they would just be so excited about Flesh and Blood for about 2 weeks, and I completely love and support them for that. But I think there's other people, like, I'm gonna be honest, and this is probably not the mindset I should have. It isn't. But if I play an Armory and Tim's not there and Mara's not there and I win it, I don't feel good. I feel good because I got to hang out with people. And
as good.
I don't feel as good. I didn't beat the very consistent high level players that show up all the time. And I'll have that call with Rachel on the way home. Hey, I'm coming home. What do you want me to pick up? Yeah, I went 3-0. It was all right. Tim and Mara weren't there, and it's like,
so.
And this is not to talk down to anybody at my LGS. This is just to say that these are like pro level players.
It's a different level,
and it is a different level, and if it has a different feeling because of that.
So the question becomes, in this case, and this is like the crux of this entire problem: what makes someone deserving of a PT invite? This is what it always comes down to.
It does
for me. Like this. All of these discussions come back to this, where we talk about like how do you determine who gets an invite, whether or not someone deserves an invite, should people not be able to play so that other people can invites, do they need to pass down, all this stuff. Like,
so I guess before that, we'll do a bit of a recap before we get to that, I guess. So we talked about how people are probably not 100% showing up to all of these to spike them for store credit and gold foils. Actually, it's funny how many times people get top 8 at one of my locals in a ProQuest, and then the store owner on their way out is like, hey, wait, you got store credit, and you should probably use it now because you live in Richmond. Is there anything you want to get? And they're not necessarily there for gold foils. They're there to hang out because it's a cool, fun event for everybody. But then they're also there for the PTI, is what it mostly comes down to. And so the big if they are there for prizing, they're there because they want the invite. They're there for the invite, yes. And so in that sense, if they're trying to cut people who have already won an event from playing in and more, then they're probably cutting down on, my brain just stopped for a second. Frick. Where was I? People who just want to play the game. Yeah. People who just want to play these events and be at these events. Or win a PTI. They're not playing for. They already have their invite. Yeah. They're no longer playing for prizing. Prizing is nice, but I want to play the game. I want to play these events. I want to go, not just hang out. Because I can just go hang out, I guess. But, no, but you came to play good games of Flesh and Blood. A more competitive event than my Armory, which also probably isn't firing that day. And because most of the people will be at a PQ. The vibes for being in top 8 are different than an Armory because it's untimed. Yes. There's a judge over your shoulder. There's all sorts of things like that. Serious. It's more serious. Trying a little bit harder. It's different than an Armory. It's not. I'm playing. I show up to the ProQuest even though I've already won one. Cool, maybe I can catch a game with somebody who's got the buy, but it's that's not why I would want to go. I want to come for the vibes in that sense, right? So I want to come to play the event. I forgot what I interrupted you for. My brain literally just full halted there. Now I'm trying to get back to it. You were talking about the reason why what makes someone deserving of a PT invite? What makes someone deserving of a PT invite, which feels like is what comes back to, because if the point is to try to spread out more Pro Tour if we want to just give anyone, if we want to hand out enough Pro Tour invites, we just hand out more Pro Tour invites. We give it a third place, we give it a fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And so if you're cutting out just the first place person, then you're deciding that someone needs to kind of go through a gauntlet in order to get that PTI. instead of just trickle down to 6th.
Why are we drawing the line there?
Sure.
And then fundamentally, this becomes a question of, why is this the solution? Why is the solution for one? Let's just say they want to stick with one person gets an invite because they want that to be the number of invites that go out.
Actually,
why is this?
Yeah, I'm writing that down. So when talk more about the deserving, like at if you're more deserving of however you phrased it, frick. I need more water.
Deserving of an invitation to the PT.
Yeah.
So like they've determined that the person who wins a ProQuest has earned the ability to play at the Pro Tour.
That's right. Yeah. So like
the ability to participate at the Pro Tour.
The ability to participate at the Pro Tour, to show up with the invite for the event, to play in the event. And so a point I brought up I think before the show was like ProQuests they're kind of two things, I argue, but like the main thing that they are is they are the like day 0 of Pro Tour, right? It is a way to weed out people, just in the same way that you weed out people from day 1 to day 2 by you have to have a certain record. You weed out people from day 2 to top 8 by, being the top 8. You are weeding out people. You're trying to find who is the Pro Tour champion, and you're working backwards. Day 0, quote unquote, is playing at ProQuest and earning an invite to the actual event. Just like any other competition, any other sport, you have to work your way up. You have to work your way through, your locals, your regionals, your states, your nationals, your Pro Tours in this instance.
Yeah. Jakudo, to answer your question real quick, I think it depends on how many people they want at the Pro Tours. That's like the more events they have, the smaller the events are, the more people they want at the Pro Tour. The threshold for getting to the Pro Tour is lower.
Question is, devil's advocate, why are there so many local stores hosting events? Shouldn't it be less and larger events? Like a hypothetical, I live in the Roanoke Valley. Should there not just be one event in the Roanoke Valley and all of the Roanoke Valley has to fight over it?
That's up to LSS. Do they want 100 people at a Pro Tour, or do they want 500? Do they want 1,000? They can set that number at whatever they want.
And so
the question becomes, how do they determine the X number of people?
And then also, like, they want to set the gate or the barrier to entry of the Pro Tour to what, right? And then it's like, and how are you going to set that? Like, if you set it so that it just always trickles down, there is a downside to the trickle down, I think, which is like, what if it trickles down so far that 9th place gets it? Does that not feel bad? That kind of feels bad, right?
So if that is the case, your scene is big enough to have 9 PQs.
True.
Does that mean and that becomes like a question of, is the top, if an event will only fire with 8 people because it only has 8 people, how many of those people deserve to go versus how many of 64 deserve to go? I don't know a good answer to that. They have to hit somewhere in the middle, and they try to do this by giving PQs out based on attendance.
It's also rough. Like, imagine you have 10 stores in your area. They all want to host the PQ, or should want. And so it's like, what if LSS is like, yeah, but we only want like 5 people for your region.
What if there's only 10 people who go to the same 10 stores?
And then everyone just gets one.
Well, it's like, no, but it's like, how many of those people deserve to go? What percentage of those people do you want to have attend?
100%? Maybe.
That's up to LSS.
I guess that is up to LSS. But that's what we're discussing. What would you say?
Yes. I think that is a threshold that is purely determined by how big you want your Pro Tour to be. If you want 100 people total at your Pro Tour, then you're going to run like...
I see what you're saying. It's a metric you can't quite define, because even if we set a barrier or a statement like we want around 500, give or take 100, right? Like if it's between
Yeah, plus or
400 and
minus.
plus or minus 100, 500 players, we can't exactly know, okay, we need to run this many PQs, which means in this region, this many needs to go off and like this, that, and whatever.
Yeah.
We can't quite have access to all those numbers, but
Like it's so dependent on the number of PQs, the number of people that attend the PQs, the all of it. And I'm sure LSS has done the math on this. Of they want the PQs to be this, or the PTs to be this size. They're running this many PQs because there's this many people, but then that means there's this many people, this percentage of people are going to qualify, which means we run this many events in this region because there's 25 people that we can rely on to show up to this PQ or these 2 PQs, and we want 2 of them to show up, so then it's just the winner.
So the other reason why I feel like they should want to, I think LSS believes this too, and I think a lot of people do. The other reason you run these events is like this and Road to Nationals are the biggest in-store local level event.
Yes.
And so for a lot of people, for most people, more people than what we're discussing about, it's just going to be
event they'll play.
This is the biggest event they'll play all year. There might be a Battle Hardened close by. And they're coming out with more Battle Hardens. There might be, if you're in the States, a calling nearby that you get to go to in a year. But it's like, this is like one of the biggest events you'll play all year. Maybe the biggest event you'll play all year. You want to like, you don't have a team. You're not grinding all the time. You just show up to your locals. But like for this event, you got your deck list ahead of time. You got new sleeves for this. This is like the biggest thing you're going to do all year. You're going to get to hang out with people that not necessarily locally, but like from a wider area. So you get to like hang out with more people. This is going to be the coolest event you get to go to this year. And in that sense, it's like, if that is another reason why they run these events, is it feels super hype for these more casual players. So it's not just that they run these events for Pro Tour invites. They also run them for...
It has become not just about the PT invites. This is your... And
I think from the beginning, they wanted it to do that. Yeah. It's both. It can be both.
But, like, then... let me play my PQs. Let me play my local PQs. So when I get an invite, I already travel less for PQs. So like when I got my invite from London for Singapore, I went from 7 PQs on the season to 3.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I'm already traveling less. I'm already playing less.
You're going to the ones that you want to go to for the sake of wanting to go to, as opposed to going to the ones that you're going to try to win an event. You're not, quote unquote, stealing gold foils and PTIs from more and more events, or you're already after winning not stealing from as many as you would have. You are restricting.
Not trying to.
You are personally restricting yourself in the same way LSS is trying to restrict people with this rule, but to a lesser extent. But
I get to still play my local ones and support my LGSs.
Especially the
flesh and blood.
I get it. No, I see it, and I think, gosh,
like it. So and then, like the way Clark puts this is like if the goal of this is to try and get more events out. Passing the invites down works just as well. I don't care how far down the invites go because they already have a system set up internally, I'm sure, to figure that out about how many events there need to be because of how many people are in your region to get this number of people to the PT. They already have that figured out. Mm-hmm. We don't need to figure that out. Just have the invites passed down as far as they can and don't deny people the ability to play. It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
If the same 2 people win your 8 events in your region, they're going to get the invite in the first one and the second one, and then the other 6 should just pass down. Let them play.
Sure.
I want to go play against the best people in my region.
I think
if my goal is to play the Pro Tour, I want to play the best people.
I think the main thing is, like, if these events become so lucrative that it's worth it, to just take first and second in all of them, that might feel bad.
Sure. I don't know of any events that are like that lucrative, quote unquote. Also, most people will still just like, you want the best shot at your invite, scoop, go ahead.
Also, there's a lot of stores who like overcharge, and then your prices are whatever LSS gave them. You're not getting anything else.
Sure are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stores like that. Like I don't know.
I feel like that. I feel like my personal answer to this is like, it's not that we. I feel like, okay, so to recap, the problem is, reading Clark Moore's message.
Yes, I 100% agree, Clark.
I think
it feels way worse to just not be able to play.
I think there is a problem with potentially the colluders pushing people through. And I think
there might be some scenes where that is a problem. I think that number of scenes is the minority. And also this would be something I think they would have addressed in this change, or they're going to, and they're just doing this poorly.
Well, I'm trying to wrap it up and get to answers, like how we answered these things. And so I think the other potential problem that there could be is vibes of people come in and take your quote unquote. This is, I mean, people think this, and if people think this is something LSS should be concerned about, that somebody is taking your invite and your gold foil, or maybe even your entire top 8, like if 6 people from out of town come in, and that is something that will upset people. This is something LSS needs to think about if it does upset people. I don't think it upsets most people. I don't think it's going to happen everywhere. But I think there are problems with the current system before this change. I think I think I'm beginning to agree with you that there are more problems from this change. A player who wins a Pro Quest may not participate in more Pro Quests during that season.
At the very least, this is not a net positive.
It's probably not a net positive. I don't think I can.
You just said there were more problems.
There are more problems. It's like so
then it can't be a net positive.
I think the problem is this solution that they currently have is like so not great that it's like, I see what you're trying to do. Actually, I'm bought in on the vision. I get what you're trying to get at.
Yes.
Do something else.
Yes, that's it.
Something else.
I'm not disagreeing that there's a problem.
It's also so great that like Kevin's here and he's in like 70% the camp of this is bad, and
I'm down for you trying to fix this stuff.
Yes,
I'm cool with that.
And that's the problem with Bluesky too. Is there's a lot of this is the part where we we're going to be a little more upfront about our opinions. This is
the second post that doesn't.
Yeah, this is the one that no one reads at the bottom, which is you're like, I recognize that there's a problem here and it should be fixed. It's just not like this. After you poured your heart out in the first one. Yeah.
2, you just made this other thing worse.
It'd probably be good to be able to earn a place at a Swig Big this season, even if you win.
That also would just be lovely if this is one, when it's the Rainbow Foil Heroes, 1, nobody cares about the prizes. 2, you're just not going to care as much about getting a playset. It's not about getting a playset of them.
I think the fact that they are just handed out to top 8 is enough, because if you wanted them, you could just buy them.
Yes, but it'd also just be nice if I could go play 3 PQs and earn it just for getting top 8.
There also is prizes for top 4, which is the same thing, and
which is also a sick card, by the way. That card's legit.
I read the card and I was like, this is a super cool idea, and then I didn't look into it enough to determine how hyped I am on it. But I probably should.
Ambush is fucking lit.
What?
It has ambush?
Why didn't you bring this up when I said new cards announced? That you're hyped about.
I've already gone through this one.
I forgot. No, I don't think so.
It can block from Arsenal.
Ambush. When this attacks or defends, it gets +1 or -1 for each different name among auras in arena. Wait, it blocks for 2? And it gets plus defense. So if I
if you get codexed,
I'm playing Codex. If I play Codex,
no,
I'm playing Codex.
This is not what you get.
If I play Codex,
No,
then I can just block for
this
4.
is not it. You
you block for 3. You lose your ponder. Yeah, you're right.
But if you get codexed,
you fetch this card.
And you put this in your arsenal. Or
Man, I hate this card. Man, I don't want to talk about this. Frick. No, I hate this. Garbage card. Go back to the printers.
This card's
Frick.
sick.
No.
This is like one of the best designed blues they've ever had. By the way, it's generic.
It has ambush.
Uh-huh.
I'm so upset. Everyone in my locals is going to put one of in every deck, at least.
It's so sick. I love it so much. I love that card. It's so
Hashtag LSS. Why does how does it go? Why does LSS hate assassins so much?
Yeah.
Where was it?
Class here, yeah.
Why does LSS hate assassins? Question mark. Frick.
That card's fucking sick.
Jeez, like even CNC, you could just block with it. It's not a defense reaction. Oh, bull crap.
You just ditch it.
All right.
That card's sick.
Frick.
I'd love to be able to just get a playset of it from PQs.
Sure.
And not have to worry about anything like that. I get to actually play for that. I get to play for something that isn't like crazy. And I still will scoop to somebody who doesn't have their invite before I play them to get that promo.
So we'll go over since you're more in the camp of this is a bad thing, even if it is just a little. Again, I want to emphasize the fact that I'm like 50% for what they've done. Kevin's like 10% for what they've done, probably less than that, but like
it is slightly net negative.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't do the things that they say it is supposed to do.
So if it's supposed to fix, there's not enough invites going out. Your solution would be
just pass the invites down further. Let people play the game.
Fair enough. And if it's supposed to be gold foils are not going out to enough people, what would your solution be?
That's not an argument. that is not an argument
fair.
That is supported by the way the player base interacts with the game.
Yes.
Because Battle Hardens would no longer exist because nobody would have played them. We wouldn't... Calling prize pools would have to be 10x what they are.
I remember...
Or 5x what they are.
I remember going to my first Battle Hard, Charlotte, and then being like, afterwards... what was it? We were getting food afterwards or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking about how Tim got 9th, and then I was like, so what'd you get? And it's like, oh, what did 8th place get? Oh. Wait, so what does first get? And I was like, how is this worth it for anybody? And everyone was like, no, that is not why we came. And I was like, well, I know that I was that way, but like I would personally get better at the game of Flesh and Blood if I wanted a gold foil.
Like at some point, we have to acknowledge this is a competition.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Someone has to win,
and we are competing for something.
And if someone has to win, someone has to lose.
We should be competing for some of these things.
Yeah. Everyone all the time is like, well, of course you don't play no one plays UPF because it's a competitive card game. It's like, okay, well, Magic's a competitive card game, but yes, I get it. Sure.
But Commander exists.
Yeah, but Commander is
best-selling format.
They have competitive Commander, whatever. I don't know. It's just
sure
like
do.
It's a competitive game just like any other game. It's just like chess. And so like in the same sense, someone's got to win, and for someone to win, someone's going to lose. And so if you want to determine the best for something like a Pro Tour, there's going to be people weeded out in different places.
There is some degree of this where we can help with rules changes and policy changes, and there is some degree of it's a competition. And at the end of the day, we are This is the first event where you go to competitive REL, rules enforcement level. It's by definition competitive.
Mm-hmm. You are at no point guaranteed that you're going to get a
You are never handed your first PT invite.
Yes.
You earn it.
LSS is not requiring that certain local areas get a certain amount of invites. It's that certain events will get a certain amount of invites. You have to earn it from there.
Yes.
Okay, so the other argument was the colluders, right? You have a group of 5 people, 4 of them have invites, 1 of them doesn't. They're pushing them all the way up to the top. It's kind of a problem. We did get to the point where we got Kevin on camera, red-handed, to saying that it's a competitive integrity issue, however much so, right? Like if they
gray areas in between,
so much gray area,
and agreements beforehand also notwithstanding, because that's when it really is just like no, that's a no.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be able to stop that, and I don't have a solution offhand to situations like that. I freely admit that. And this like Band-Aid covers it. And I say it Band-Aid covers it because if you have 5 people, 4 of whom cannot go to Yokohama, Japan, and 1 of whom can, you're already in the same situation.
Oh, as in nobody has their invites yet. One of them has the finances to go to. Yeah, I guess we didn't talk about that. So like, the first PTI, the first ProQuest of the season, everyone's allowed in.
Every PQ is going to be skewed this season because it's an APAC PT.
Especially in the Americas or in Europe.
Yes, in the US, I should say.
In the US, mostly is what we're talking about. In the US,
all of our PQs are going to be skewed because of the number of people who are actually able.
It's going to be heavily skewed.
To go to Japan. Yeah.
Even from like last round of Swiss, people are going to be like, "So are you going to Yokohama?" Yeah. Well, here, just freaking have it. I don't care.
Maybe not last round of Swiss.
Maybe
but
not.
Definitely
But
top 8.
Oh yeah, there's swing big.
When top 8 hits,
when top 8 hits,
when those questions are going to start. And like, I'm going to be asking because I plan to go, and I know most people don't. And as soon as my opponent says, "I want to play the game," we play the game. That's it.
Kill him. They kill you.
Like
someone's dying.
If I lose, I didn't deserve it. I didn't deserve the invite.
Rule 4.5.3a will be enacted.
Sure. I don't know what that is off the top of my head.
When you have no more life, you lose the game. That will happen. So in that sense, collusion is going to be almost impossible to weed out. And if this is the solution that LSS has for dealing with collusion, it covers some cases of it. Like week 5, week 4, it covers it. Maybe some.
I think it is. Yes. I think it is a partial solution for late in the season. And I think it is an inelegant solution. And I think more people are negatively impacted by it than positively.
Okay. And even more so,
people are negatively impacted by it than colluders they are removing from the system. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Which is also something, if you're, I don't think this necessarily relates 100%, but like the idea of just like, would you rather punish an innocent person versus let free a guilty person? That whole ethical debate.
Context being king.
Yes. Yeah, context 100%. And I don't even know if it 100% applies to this, right? Because like, how much is collusion evil in certain scenarios?
Question
and, like,
mark.
Yeah, it's just like
I understand what you're saying.
It's so gray what I'm trying to say, but like also like just the first ProQuest to fire for this season, it just doesn't matter. Like this rule just actually is not in effect. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
If they want to collude for the one person in their group,
they're already going to do it.
You got 5 people coming up from this hypothetical out of town, and they're all going to show up to your locals, and they're all going to try to get the one guy in that is actually able to go to Japan. The 4 of them can't afford it for whatever reason, and so they just collude to get that. This doesn't stop that, not at all. Like it is none.
No, and it honestly probably won't stop it for any event later in the season. Because those 4 people are not going to win because they're going to concede.
They're going to get second. They're going to get a gold foil, and they're not going to get a PTI.
Yes.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about on this? It feels bad because
let me Yes.
I'm
going to do a quick scroll of
Sure.
what Diana sent us.
Sure. Because there's a lot of people who are either in favor of this or they understand why they did it, and they're passionately like the people who are not in favor of this are like, they're biased because they want to win on the gold foils, or they have a lot of reasons, and they're maybe personally impacted by it. Like, okay, well maybe now my event will be softer. I can finally win my first gold foil or something like that. And it's like we've kind of covered a lot of them, and I feel like I still couldn't give the side that's in favor a good enough justice, but I feel like if you really dig into the answers, into why it's good for you, it's not great for you, or you're looking for some small short-term gratification over this, or more of like, screw you, you didn't get to play in the event, I get to do this thing now. And it's just like, it doesn't feel great.
So, like, one of the things that people were bringing up around all of this is just like competitive integrity, which is like, well, that's not the same competition as if it had all the people in it.
It's already not holding up to the same level of competition because it doesn't have all of those great players who are going to be in it.
Yes.
The week 5 events will be a lot softer in theory than the week 1 events because they won't have
a decent step.
Yeah.
Softer, yes.
Yeah. Potentially noticeably softer.
Yeah.
And in that sense, does that mean it's unfair for people who have the stores that want to schedule their events, week 1, as opposed to the stores who want to schedule their event week 5? This is also
ignoring all the issues for stores with
yes.
pre-registration
and yeah.
all that stuff. It's just a mess. I don't think anyone is contested that.
It's no,
but it's also whatever.
It's also
that's not
the store asks issue. What if the store asks when does everyone want the event, and then everyone's just like, I want it week 5 so that the best players in our region can't play at our LGS.
How is that for competitive integrity?
That's literally skewing the whole thing. And I'm not saying that anyone's trying to do that. I'm saying there definitely could be people who there's 100% people that are doing that, but or trying to tell their LGS to do that. But I'm not saying that any particular person is doing that. And I don't think most people. I would be surprised. It's kind of an implied thing that some people are kind of getting out of this, or this is the advantage they get if their store decides to do this.
It's the possibility that this can happen,
which is what we've all been going over, is all possibilities, right? We're not playing out the pro quests right now. We're just theorizing. When even is this? October?
Yeah, it's
October through November
4th or something.
4th through November 9th. Yeah. So
it is a full 5 weeks.
God dang. Another really long pro quest. I love it, but it's I actually really love the 5-week pro quest, nationals, stuff like that. I think there's a lot of good points that other people have brought up too. We've conceded some points where we're just like, well, yep, that makes sense. I agree with that.
I want to go back to Andrew's point earlier. I understand that I'm in a gray area where I'm willing to concede to a friend to not deny them a top 8 or keep them in the running for a top 8, or if I have my invite and we meet in top 8, I scoop because I'm not trying to deny them the invite because I already have mine. I understand that's a gray area. There's also no agreements beforehand that happens. There's no expectation from their side that I do this.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that then it is an easier route, or not even quotes. That is an easier route because they have one less game that they have to actually win.
And it's against a Pro Tour finalist.
Top 8?
One less. Wait, what'd you get?
Top 8?
I don't remember your records.
I lost in top 8.
That's right. I forget. What'd you win? I was hyped over. Whatever. I don't even remember.
Memphis?
Maybe that was it. Oh, yeah, that was it. You won a Battle Hardened. I don't remember. I can't keep track of this stuff.
I understand if that's a weird gray area on this. But at the same time, like, it's random chance that they get paired into me, and if they also just never hit me, they never get that advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a difference between me and one person meeting and me doing that, which also I don't just do for my friends. I also do that for randos. Like, I'm not selective on that.
Oh, we're still talking, Tim.
Yes. This discourse has been going for 2 days, at least.
Yes. There's been a lot of behind the scenes yapping about this.
Yeah. So, like, this is to say, I don't just do this for the people who are in my testing group. I've scooped a lot of Nats invites to a lot of people I've never met until that day. So
yeah, no, I agree. And so
do with that what you will at that point.
Is there anything else that you wanted to bring up that other people brought up?
I don't think so. I think that covers like most of the stuff. I guess just like people are being a little more abrasive about this issue than they should be. But I don't know. People are passionate and they want to play the game.
Is there anything else you wanted to bring up in general about all of this? I think well, actually, I guess the final answer is like,
we can't change anything. See what LSS says.
Well, I was going to say, like, what would you change, right? So, like, you would say, remove this new clause that they put in.
Yep.
Would you add anything else specifically? I mean,
it gets passed down further. We play third, fourth if we need to, and if we have to go to fifth through eighth, then we can go by seeding.
I think that does it go past eighth? Like, does ninth place earn anything?
Probably not.
I think that makes sense. I think the likeliness that comes, that would be one of those scenarios where if that ever came up, it'd be like, holy cow, can you believe they had all 8 people and
8 people already had their invite?
That'd be
something
like
weird happened.
That would be wild.
Yes.
That would be, it's funny because that would be something like, I don't know, like a Houston ProQuest where there's just like 100 people there or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
And like so many people.
You've already had 8 events where these people have gotten invites.
And
it is week 5. They're all still playing.
And they ran hot enough to get top 8 at this massive
again.
PQ. Yes, again. Like, that would be absurd. Yeah. So
no, the odds that happens are so low that I think we wouldn't need to include it. But yeah.
So I think my change would, the more I think about it, it would probably also be that. I think before the show, I was going to say that I don't have an answer because I think I would roll back what they've already done and I wouldn't change anything. But I think what you've said is pretty convincing. I feel like there's something they should do. At the least, what I would like out of LSS, and this is my spoiled brat flesh and blood player opinion, is that they should tell us why the change and give us a very straight up, straightforward answer. Even if it's something like, I know James White came on and he talked about having to keep track of your opponent's triggers, and a lot of people got salty at him for telling his story about playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic or whatever it was. I think it was Magic. And I was like, I appreciate that he came on air at least and shared this antidote and then also explained the reasoning why. And maybe that's also just because I personally agreed with him on it, but it's like I would like an announcement about this. I know they have till, they obviously have until October to talk about it, and they probably will, but holy frick. If not, somebody's going to ask him. They're probably going to have a dev talk about it. But if not, like Brian Gottlieb is going to be on an interview at some point in the next 10 years, and they're going to bring it up. They're going to say it right to his face. So, like, I mean, there's no exact hiding it because of how open LSS is. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Does that pretty much wrap it up? We've explained the whole scenario, and Tim, if you're still on, we can chat about it if you want to after the show.
I think I'm good.
Oh, you're tapped out. I get that. Remember to go check out our merch at thetablepit-shop.fourthwall.com where you can get a t-shirt that says things like
no blocks is mathematically correct.
Yeah. And if you want to make this stream look nicer and help get supplies for our project videos, you can support us over at patreon.com/thetablepit, where I just bought 2 new cameras recently. They were $20 off a piece because they were purple. Kevin, do you have any shout-outs?
No, I'm good.
I have one. You had a tournament report come out, and it was very humbling in a very like heartwarming way, and I thought it was great. And it was an hour long, and I listened to the whole thing today. Holy frick! Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching. We do this every Thursday. We also have a show called No Blocks, a Chill Talishar stream, where we do and maybe don't block. Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. With Wyatt, and then after that we have the design table. Oh, you're gonna be on that, by the way, right? Like, you're gonna show us how to play Prism this week.
Saturday morning, I probably can.
Heck yeah! And then also we have after that the design table, a Chill Fab stream. Did you say you're working?
I'm working Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's Saturday, so you're good. A Chill Fab art show at 1 p.m. on Saturdays where we're gonna do art, and I'm gonna 100% make sure we do it this week, unless I can't. So thank y'all so much for watching. I think I will say that if I get into the finals of, I'm very much debating that if I get in the finals of a ProQuest this season, this upcoming ProQuest season, I'm probably, if nobody wants the invite on the way up there, I'm probably going to tell my opponent I would not like to redistribute prices. We're playing for all the money, all the marbles. Everything goes to one person.
Loser gets to keep playing. Winner gets the stuff and goes out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm curious to see how many finals are people playing for the right to concede.
That's another really funny thing. And then we also looked up. Actually, do you want to?
Especially in the U.S., where there might be whole PQs where nobody is planning to go to the PT.
There might be whole PQs where no one's planning to go to the PT. And so everyone wants the opportunity to keep playing more ProQuests because if you win, you are not allowed to go to more ProQuests. So then the finals could just be both players want to concede and get second place. And then the answer to that, according to a judge that we've heard, I think I'd like this like double checked, honestly. I would call another judge if someone told me this, which was if two players want to concede, then they have to play for the right of concession, which is wild. Yep. But I don't know if that's 100% true.
Absolutely insane.
But that is, hopefully that does not have to happen. But anyways, this has all been great discussion. I appreciate everybody in the comments who were chat who's able to talk about this. I'd love to hear comments where other people give more opinions, or if I didn't represent anything correctly, or if Kevin personally ruined your ProQuest experience by scooping to another player. Please leave that in the comments down below. Thank y'all so much for watching. Bye.